Orchestra, orchestra, orchestra instruments! Do you know what an orchestra is? An orchestra is a large group of musicians that play instruments together. They often play pieces of music called symphonies. You might be wondering, are all orchestras the same? The answer is no! All orchestras are not the same. There are a few standard seating arrangements that orchestras use, but each orchestra is different. So each seating arrangement can also be different. Typically, the louder instruments like the timpani, percussions, and trombones are in the back, while softer instruments like strings and flutes sit toward the front. But there is one thing that never changes. The first violins always sit immediately left of the conductor. Instruments are grouped by kind, and the first kind I'm going to show you are the string instruments. String instruments make sounds by vibrating strings. Plucking, hitting, or rubbing with a bow helps make the sounds. This first instrument is called the violin. It's the most known of all the string instruments. This next instrument is called the viola. It's bigger than a violin and makes lower notes. This next instrument is called the cello. It's played by sitting down and in between the musician's knees, with the end pin stuck on the floor for balance. This is called a harp. A harp is played by plucking strings. This next group of instruments is called the brass instruments. They're made of metal. In order to play brass instruments, you can't just blow, you have to make a buzzing noise with your lips, and the sound echoes through the instrument. This is a tuba. It's considered an oompa instrument because it's the sound that it often makes. Oompa, oompa, oompa. And tubas often help keep rhythm. This is a trombone. When the slide moves in, the note is higher. When the slide moves out, the note is lower. This is a trumpet. The next group of instruments I'm going to show you are called woodwind instruments. They produce sound by using wind. Musicians blow air to make a sound. Contrary to what you might think, these instruments aren't only made of wood, but can be made of metal. Did you know that tin whistle is a woodwind instrument? This is a flute. It's an interesting instrument. Instead of blowing into the instrument, you blow across the hole. As air moves across the hole and down the body of the flute, it vibrates, causing sound. This is a piccolo. It is similar to a flute, but smaller. A piccolo is half the size of a flute, and it's the smallest instrument in an orchestra. It also makes the highest sound. This is a clarinet. It has a single reed, a piece of wood at the mouthpiece that helps the instrument make sound. This is a bassoon. It has a double reed, and it makes a lower sound. The last group of instruments I'm going to show you are the percussion instruments. They make sounds by hitting, shaking, scraping, or rubbing. They can be made of wood, metal, and a whole lot more. This is a marimba. A marimba is similar to a xylophone. These are cymbals, and they are loud. They're often used when the music builds, and the crashing cymbals are often used to show the climax of the music. This is a timpani, a collection of drums, and you make sounds by striking the drums with a mallet. Orchestra, orchestra, orchestra instruments! If you enjoyed this video, make sure to press the like button. I'll see you next time. Bye.